Okay, YouTube, this is JLChambers82, and today's video is a response, actually, to my last video, or maybe like a direct sequel to it, actually. I don't really want to say a review of the Neo Geo X system, but my feelings about the system have changed somewhat since my initial overwhelming reaction when I did my unboxing. So I just want to do a quick video to kind of let you guys know what I really think after sitting on it for a little bit, after playing it. I know there's a lot of videos out there. A lot of people are blasting the system, you know, so I want to give you my 2 cents on it. Basically what's changed for me is that I wouldn't recommend this to anybody that's looking for a cheap way to get into Neo Geo as an alternative to collecting like the Neo Geo CD or the AES. I would still recommend at the end of the day that somebody, if they wanted to play Neo Geo games and collect for Neo Geo and do that in a very cost-effective way, I think the Neo Geo CD's got to be the best way to go. Yeah, the load times are terrible, but you're going to get, you know, a very, very similar experience. It's not emulation, it's actual hardware. So I really recommend you going that way. It's a good way to kind of get into it to see if you really like the games enough to make the investment, then the leap to MVS or AES, you know. So I'm going to recommend that. As far as the Neo Geo X system, I think that for collectors and Neo Geo fans, $200 is still a good price. I think for what you get, $200 is a good price. Now, upon closer inspection of the system, do I feel it's the same quality, you know, as something like a PlayStation Vita? After really sitting down and playing with it, I really, you know, didn't mess with it too much at the unboxing. I just kind of looked at it. But when you start to really look close, you can't help but overlook a few things. And Luke Morse 1, who's one of the, you know, he's one of the few authorities out there as far as I'm concerned on Neo Geo and, or, you know, arcade parts and actual just the breaking something down. He's one of the few authorities out there that just, you know, what he says kind of goes. And he took this thing apart and kind of showed piece by piece, and his opinion is that it's just basically you know, an overpriced emulator, and it's, you know, it's really not anything special. I really kind of feel bad that I might have misled some people that watched my video. That I really did believe that SNK made this system. I found out that it's not. It's actually Tomo, you know, it's like a toy company. They actually just have a license from SNK to make the system. When you pull it out of the box, I mean, it looks sleek. It's got the rubber back and the SNK on the back, and everything feels good initially, and that's what I thought out of the box, and I do stand by that. And initially, everything feels good, but when you really do look at it, take a closer examination, I mean, everything is very, very plasticky. Everything is very cheap, you know. I mean, it feels good. It doesn't feel like it's going to break, but it's not the same as picking up a PSP or a PlayStation Vita, for example, or a 3DS. The screen is pretty decent. It's nothing great. The speaker on the system itself is not good. It's actually pretty terrible. But I'm going to go ahead and turn this on and see what you can pick up on the TV, you know, on the camera anyway. But, you know, I bought it, you know, one, because it was just Neo Geo. This is the nostalgia, but I really wanted it. I'm a collector. You know, I got it for that reason. And also, I thought it'd be a good thing to have in the game room. I knew it was going to be HDMI. Hook it up to the, you know, big TV and just have 20 Neo Geo games ready to go, so that if somebody came in, we didn't have to break out the MVS, you know, or I didn't have to buy, you know, such and such games for the MVS and constantly switch out the carts. I could just we could just switch back and forth. And it will serve that purpose, but it is not the same quality running through the HDMI or even the, you know, just the regular composite. I've tried that, and it's not anywhere near the quality of you know, the real hardware, the Neo Geo CD or the console's MVS. You know, that's the real deal. You know, so at the end of the day, you know, basically, it comes down to, if you're not a collector, if you're just really looking at a cheap way to get Neo Geo, I just can't recommend it. I can't say that it's a high quality product anymore. And I know that's a big change from my unboxing, but you know, I don't think that if you play, I think if you played this every day, I don't think it would last necessarily. Everything works great right now. Everything's very, very responsive. Like, the controls on it work very, very well. Here's just a game up and running. It'll probably kind of flashy, but you can see the screen looks, you know, pretty decent. Now this is stretched. This isn't the normal, you know, ratio for Neo Geo games. This, I believe, stretches it to 16:9 instead of the 4:3. And I know the camera's picking up a little bit of the sound, and you're like, oh, maybe that's not too bad, but it's not too great either. It's really not great coming out of the HDMI of the TV. Like, that's where I really notice a lot of the flaws of everything. So, you know, all that being said, like, would this be a cool handheld to carry around? Yeah, but you could probably get these games on iPhone, or I know people that emulate, even though it's not 100% legal on PSP and whatnot. I think there's better ways to get the games if you don't want to invest in the Neo Geo system themselves. You know, you can go with the Wii console, or, you know, buy collections on PlayStation 2, or they might even make legit, I don't know enough about the PSP library, they might make anthologies or something on PSP that you can buy. And that would be, I think, better and more durable than something like this. I'm going to stand by what I said, that it is worth $200 considering what you get for collectors, for Neo Geo fans. They want to have this in their game room. I'm going to keep it hooked up to the TV, you know, and it's great. I mean, I've played Baseball Stars 2 on it. That'll be fun for when people come over. Now the only thing is that you have to buy another controller. So which means my biggest gripe. The controller looks, if I was to hold up another Neo Geo controller, and I showed this in the unboxing, it looks the part. It weighs nothing because there's nothing in it. This is just plastic. And the ball does work fairly well, and the buttons work, but these are $50 a piece, like, if you buy them separately, and I just cannot see spending 50 bucks on this. 20 bucks tops, and again, it's a great looking item, and it's a clone, you know, of the real deal, but it's not the real deal. Not anywhere near the quality, and that's what I was kind of informed of, that it was the same specs on the inside. And after I saw Luke Morse one break it down, I was just kind of hoping that the plastic outside, the reason it didn't weigh as much as a traditional controller is because there's been a lot of advances in, you know, polymer technology, so you can make something more durable that doesn't weigh much of anything, i.e. a Wii controller or an iPad or an iPhone. You know, there's a lot of technology, a lot of quality there, and it doesn't really weigh much. Whereas something, you know, in the 80s or 90s even, you know, could have been huge and bulky, but the plastic was heavy and seemingly more durable, but it actually is more brittle and it's going to age worse. So in this case, I just think that it's just, they got the mold right, but they just kind of cheaped out on it, and I just can't see spending 50 bucks for a USB, you know, controller. I might see if there's I haven't really tried anything else to see if you can put like any kind of USB controller in there and it'll work, but you know, for those reasons, for the fact that, you know, to get 2-player up and running, you know, you have to invest another $50 in it. For $250, guys, I know you can go out there right now and you can buy a top loader Neo Geo CD. You can find one on eBay for not much money, and even get it imported from Japan, so you get a box and everything. Even by the time you hit the shipping, you're not going to pay as much. Now, you won't get 20 games, but other than Metal Slug and a couple of other games on there, the games that are on there are really not all that rare. You know, World Heroes 2 Perfect, for example, is not very expensive. Magician Lord on Neo Geo CD is not that expensive, and, you know, a couple of the games on there I didn't even really play. They weren't my cup of tea back in the day anyway. So, yeah, for like, there's a soccer game on there that's just not my thing. But yeah, I mean, I think that's the direction I'd point you in, or, you know, buy them on, you know, the Wii channel or PlayStation Network if you can, or Xbox Live. Something like that might be a better alternative for you guys. So anyway, I hope that, you know, anyone that watched my channel, watched my unboxing, you know, I hope that you don't resent, you know, me for that, like that I pointed you in the wrong direction. I was just really excited about the system, and out of the box, you know, I was really kind of stunned. But that's the thing, is you have to take time to reflect and actually put it through the ringer and the test. And my opinion wasn't swayed by Luke Morse 1's video or some other people's. I didn't like love it and then see this video, I'm like, oh my god, I have crap. You know, I discovered this, you know, on my own, and I don't think it's crap. I think that it's appropriately priced for what it is. If it was of high quality and just, you know, everything was exceptional the way I wanted it, I think I would have expected to pay more, of like $400 for it. Really, to be honest, guys, like a piece of hardware like that, 400 bucks would, with games preloaded, and to come with everything. If it would have been up to the standards that I wanted to, like a real, you know, real deal joystick, and the docking station would have been more solid, $400 would not be unrealistic at all. So Anyway, guys, you know, let you decide for yourselves. If you've already bought it, you know, maybe post a video response or some comments below. Just let me know what you think of it. But at the end of the day, I still like the system. It's just, it's not, you know, replacement for Neo Geo for the real deal at all. It's just a nice little collector's piece, a nice little toy. That's a very good word for it. It's a toy that just happens to play Neo Geo emulation. So, anyway, YouTube, stay cool.